This DIY today is brought to you by Danelle Scala. She's one of our subscribers and she asked me if I could paint something red. I picked up this set from Alejandra. She's one of my followers on Facebook, and she gave me a dresser, hutch top, and a nightstand. I've already painted the dresser and hutch top, and if you follow me on social media, then you've already seen that. And today I'm going to show you how to take this piece and give it a little update and turn it into a farm country nightstand. So I'm going to be reusing this hardware, but I don't really like the color, so it's all going to get spray painted on this piece and then on the matching dresser and hutch top. Okay, I like to use Ziploc bags and keep all of my hardware and screws in there, because I've lost a few over time. This has one of those really shiny 80s finishes, so I'm just going to take my sandpaper and lightly scuff it. And by scuff it, I mean just lightly take off the sheen, nothing extensive. If it takes you over 5 or 10 minutes, you've scuffed too long. Alright, that's done. I'm going to lightly scuff this whole piece. Then I'll wipe it off, get rid of the dust, and we will be ready to paint. So I'm going to be using DIY paint and marquee. You can get that at jamirayvintage.com. It's clay-based, no VOC, all natural paint. And I think it's pretty amazing. It's one of those reds that covers really well, but just a word to the wise, it's heavily pigmented. So if you get some on your hand and you wipe your face, you will have a red face. So I'm gonna do one coat. I don't wanna put on a ton because I'm gonna be distressing it back to bring out the wood grain. So one coat is enough. When it dries, it will dry lighter, and then when it's sealed, it will come closer to this color it is when it's wet. Because of the clay, it dries a little bit lighter. Where like regular latex dries darker. So when I'm doing a piece like this, I like to paint the inside first and then the outside. Because if you paint the outside first, when you're digging in to get into the inside, then you get paint all over your arm. I know from experience. So I start inside and work my way out. I always kind of go over the edges any which way, and then I come back through and I fix my brush strokes so they're going all the way that I want them to. So now that I've got the paint on there, I can smooth out my paint job. So the hardware is kind of ugly. My answer is Rust-Oleum Universal Advanced Formula. It's paint and primer all in one. This is their metallic oil rub bronze, which is kind of my go-to for hardware. It looks great on pretty much every project. So I've wiped these down, and I'm gonna do it. I have the handles facing backwards. So I'm gonna spray this, let it dry, and then I'll flip it the other direction. I always do this one first because if when I flip it, it messes up, I'm less concerned about when it's flipped down than when it's flipped up. So I start with it flipped up first, spray it, let it dry, and then do the other way. So if you were gonna do this and you weren't gonna do a heavy distress, like we're gonna distress it so much that you see the wood grain through it, then you would need one more coat. But in this case, one coat is sufficient. If you do 2 coats, then you have to sand it all off, and it's kind of counterproductive. So Zeb's gonna take you in the garage. He's gonna be using our orbital sander and 150 sandpaper, and he's gonna show you how he distresses it with the orbital sander. And then we're gonna seal it all with polyacrylic in a satin finish.
So I wanted to show you the difference between the 2 pieces. This is the one that Jami just painted, the nightstand, and then this is the one that's distressed, the hutch top and the dresser. And this almost looks kind of pinkish, and this one's definitely more red. When you distress it, it's gonna kind of lend to be pinkish, and then when you seal it back up, it'll actually be a darker red than this is here.
All right, Danelle, this red was for you. You asked for it and I delivered it. Partially I painted it red because when I picked it up, to me it looked like an old Western. And to me, like red with heavy distress, we'll give some close-up pictures of the distress. You can literally see the wood grain through the paint. To me that says Western, I don't know.
Yeah, the thing I love about it is everything, including the drawer faces, is made out of 1.5-inch pine. This thing's heavy.
It's heavy duty.
I mean, even this up here is like 3/4 of an inch thick, this detail here.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the way it turned out. It was a really fun finish. I haven't painted a lot of red, so we'll see how well it does. Hopefully somebody loves it as much as we do and wants to take it home. But if you want to use the paint that we used today, I used DIY paint in Marquee, and you can pick that up at jamirayvintage.com. I painted this entire dresser, hutch top, and nightstand with 1/2 quart of paint. If you were doing a more solid finish, then I would say it would take an entire quart of paint, because I just did like 1 coat and a little bit of touch-up.
Yeah, I had good coverage with 1 coat though.
Yeah, I had a few like peekaboo spots and I touched them up, although I think that was kind of pointless because we distressed it so much you probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Also, oil rub bronze, that's my little trick for ugly hardware. It looks great pretty much with every color. Oh, you want to see the inside?
Jami doesn't often paint the inside, but she did on this.
Well, okay, so when I painted the bottom, see how this curves in? It got this weird, you open it and it was like not a straight line, it was like boop, and I was like, that looks dumb. So I had to paint the inside. It was a requirement for this project. I also took the drawers out, which I don't always do.
Yeah.
But it's such thick wood underneath, even though the drawers slide all the way in, there's like these thick wood all the way around the inside. And since I didn't do a boho finish, I just painted everything. I think it turned out great. I hope it inspires you to take pieces maybe that you don't love and give them a paint job and create something that makes your home beautiful. What are you looking at?
Well, there's some detail up on top that only guys taller than me will see, because I have to tiptoe to see.
Yes, there's like these button details on the top. We also distressed, painted, and sealed the top. So if you're tall, this hutch will still be aesthetically pleasing.
All right, take us home.
All right. Go to jamirayvintage.com to pick up the DIY paint that we used today. We used Marquee. Be sure to hit that notifications button so that way you know every time we have a video come up. Comment below with questions you have on this finish or ideas for videos that you'd like to see. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage
For more DIY.